All right, here comes 2023
Wow, amazing.
in just a few days. Was 2022 a good year or a bad year? We'll explore. John and Nancy are still talking. I think this happens every year where you look back at all the stuff that occurred during the year before the previous year, and it just seems like, really? I forgot that happened? Or,
Exactly. Like I looked
forgot
at this
that
list
happened.
here, and I was like, none of this I remember.
And you kind of reflect on that, and you suddenly realize, does it seem like that was a long time ago or not a long time ago? Like sometimes I see some of these entries in these almanacs for a year, and I go, wasn't that just like last weekend? It's like, no, that was a year ago.
That was in
happened.
January of last year,
It's
right?
crazy.
Yeah.
So what we thought we'd do today on the podcast is we've got this list of it's just a general list of everything that
Big list.
happened during the course of the year. And we just thought we'd touch on some stuff, and I guarantee you, while we're having this conversation, that you're going to go, what?
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Wasn't that in 1985? When did that happen? You know, it's the time is really interesting this time of year.
I think both of us, right off the bat, said, wait a minute. The 2022 Winter Olympics was this year?
Yeah.
Like, I
Oh,
totally
yeah,
forgot.
that's right.
That was in February, held in Beijing, China.
That's right. So these are just some stuff, just a few things, major things that happened during the course of 2022 that I find interesting. Anyway, did you know all the way back in January of 2022, right out of the gate, Sidney Poitier, Meatloaf, and Bob Saget all died in January of 2022. That's a year ago.
That is true.
It seems like Bob Saget was last weekend to me. I mean, that doesn't seem like a year ago.
That was definitely the big shocker.
Yeah,
You're right, starting the year that way.
True. And in 2022, Tom Brady, the GOAT in football, retired, unretired, and got divorced.
That's a big year for him. For sure.
All in 1 year. Try that at
Yikes.
home.
Some other newsworthy major events that happened besides the Winter Olympics. Russia invaded Ukraine, which, of course, we had a monkeypox outbreak. The first one happened in May of this year.
They've got to change the name of that disease.
They do. We've talked about that.
Monkeypox, you just can't take it seriously.
Queen Elizabeth II died
What?
at the
When
age
did
of
that happen?
96, September 8th. Let's see. Elon Musk, of course, completed his
bought
purchase
Twitter.
of Twitter, and now he's just trying to get someone to take over. He's going to retire as CEO.
He's like, I made a big mistake. Somebody else who's an idiot can run this company because it was too hard. I thought this was interesting. So for a long time, the best nickname in football, I was so into it, the Washington football team. I thought that was so great.
Okay.
You know, they didn't want to be the Redskins anymore.
Right.
And I get that. I understand that sentiment. But they just couldn't think of a name, so they called themselves the Washington football team, which I thought was great.
Perfect.
Merchandise, the
Right.
football team. I think that's just so great. And then finally they said, no, we have to have a proper name. And they became the Commanders, and that name is dumb. I hate
You don't
it.
like that name?
No, I like the Washington football team. That had some,
Why didn't they call you?
That had some pizzazz and a sense of humor, and they should have kept it that. Oh,
Why
well.
didn't they ask you?
I don't own that team.
So the world population reached 8 billion this
8
year.
billion.
In
I
November.
thought it felt a little more crowded this year. A little bit. Bruce Willis announced his retirement as an actor
Yeah.
because he's suffering from aphasia and has a hard time with dialogue and
Right.
lines and stuff. And
Very
that's too
sad.
bad because quite a track record there. A couple other things that happened in 2022 that you might have forgotten about. The Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson breakup, or just Pete Davidson in general.
He's had
All
quite
of a
the
sudden,
year,
he
right?
had quite the year. He's like dating starlets and all over Saturday Night Live, and then leaving Saturday Night Live. And for some reason, Pete Davidson, who I can take or leave, quite frankly,
Right,
he's
me too.
not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But he just for some reason in show business, you hit that something and everybody wants you.
Yeah.
For a minute, and
Yeah.
then it goes away. Like this year in 2023, you probably won't see Pete Davidson at all,
Possibly not.
which is interesting.
Now, following the entertainment, stories, Bennifer, remember J-Lo and
Bennifer.
Ben Affleck got back together and got married.
Yeah.
Where they dated like 20 years ago, broke up, went on, had other marriages, and then got married again.
Came back
That was a big entertainment story.
And did another big entertainment story is they sentenced R. Kelly, the singer, to 30 years in prison.
Yeah, that's right.
They put him away for a very long time because he was accused of I guess that was kind of a underage
Yeah.
abuse kind of a thing
was
that he was
icky.
doing. Is bad. Bad
Amber
and
Heard,
icky.
Johnny Depp.
Oh,
that whole
gee.
trial took place. That took place in Virginia, right? In Virginia?
Yeah, it
Is
was
that
in
what-
Virginia.
I thought it was in California.
And they
but-
just settled that, by the way.
Yeah, they did.
They just settled that. The court said she was to pay Johnny Depp $10 million, and he was going to make her $2 million or something. Anyway, they settled for $1 million. She paid him $1 million. He's giving it all to charity, and they're moving on.
Leave me alone.
And they're moving on.
The other big, of course, entertainment story was the slap seen and heard around the world, and that was Will Smith. Oh, it was awful, slapping Chris Rock. I
That
mean,
was the
weren't we
weirdest-
just like, what just happened?
I mean,
What happened?
to a guy as successful as Will Smith has been his whole career,
Right.
seemingly a very disciplined guy to be that successful, showing that complete lack of discipline.
Had a
was
major breakdown on national TV.
television. That was
was
maybe the oddest
disturbing.
thing that happened in 2022.
Yeah. It
for
was just
sure.
disturbing.
We're kind of doing our year end wrap up here on John and Nancy are still talking, and of course, entertainment is fun to look at over the course of the year. We watched a lot of TV. We
do.
There are so many channels now that anytime they do this big comprehensive list of all the shows that were popular,
Yeah.
like when I was a kid or even up into college, you'd say, what are the popular shows of the year? And there'd be 11 of them.
Right.
Now there are hundreds because everybody can have their own TV show now, it seems
And
like.
it seems like it's harder than ever to find something to watch because you're like, well, the list is so long. I don't know which one of these to try. So I've got like a list on my phone like, well, what do you like to watch? What do you like to watch?
So I'm looking right now at a list of the top 50 television shows of 2022,
Yeah.
just by viewership, et cetera. I have
Eh.
seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them out of 50. I've
Okay.
spent time with them. I like 1, 2.
Well, tell us the ones you like.
I like 2 of them.
Which ones?
I like Yellowstone
Okay.
and I like Ozark.
Okay, the Ozark.
I like those.
Finale
I
was
like
this
those.
year, yeah.
I like those shows. And I wasn't real. I didn't really like the final episode of Ozark, but I liked the
Oh, okay.
series.
Okay.
I
Well,
have seen The Crown because my wife watches it, and I'm in the same room. I have seen Stranger Things because my wife watches it, and I'm sometimes in the same room. I
I've not
have
seen
no
either one of
idea
those.
what's going on in that show. No,
Okay.
no concept. And then I gave Cobra Kai a try
Me
because
too.
for crying out loud, it's the Karate Kid. You have to give it a try. I made it through about an episode and a half,
Yeah, me too.
and then I went, it's just not grabbing me.
into me.
So.
Well, my shows were, Only Murders in the Building. So Bruce and I would watch
Oh
that.
wait, I did see that. I
Did
got to
you?
mark that one too. I did
And
watch that
was,
once.
that was decent. I like that one. Most
Selena Gomez left me flat in that one. She seemed so out of place.
okay. Well, I don't know. I could deal with that. Emily in Paris, which you would have nothing to do about. No. Firefly Lane, which is just most recently out with Sarah Chalk and Katherine Heigl, and I love them. That's like one of my favorites so far this year. Bridgerton, of course, that was like a romance kind of thing. And I want to watch Yellowstone. I'm recommitting to Yellowstone.
It's a long commit. There's a lot of seasons. You got to go back and
I
really
know.
get into it. So, and then the weirdest show of the year, and I've not seen it. I don't understand the phenomenon of it, but they've done a docu-series, a dramatization docu-series on Netflix about Jeffrey Dahmer, the serial killer. And I just
Dark.
don't. I mean, I can't immerse myself in that stuff anymore. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's
I
not
actually
good.
did start watching one of them. I think there's more than one.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. It was, but then it's again a commitment. It's a series, so. you
Yeah,
gotta
and then
commit.
the movies of the year, right? So we spent a lot of money at the movies too.
We did.
Mostly we gave it to Tom Cruise, apparently.
Yep, Top Gun Maverick. These are the highest grossing movies worldwide. We waited, I think, 2 years for that movie. More
least.
than because of COVID.
COVID
it
hit,
was
yeah,
supposed to
they
be,
backed it up.
and they just delayed it. And of course, it was like worth the wait. It was a really great movie. I know you haven't seen it yet. Will you please see it?
I will
over
see it.
Christmas holiday.
I have not seen. I'm just looking at this really quick. Okay, there's the top 8, top 9, top 10. I have not seen any of the top 10 movies of the year. Matter of fact, I haven't seen any of these. I guess I'm not a
You
big
haven't
movie
seen Elvis?
watcher. No,
That was a good one.
haven't seen any of these.
Let's see.
Haven't seen Black Panther. Haven't seen Top Gun. I haven't seen.
Thor, Love and Thunder.
I'm not the Marvel
No.
guy, so I missed
Okay.
Doctor Strange. I
Well, you got
missed,
some movies to watch.
Yeah.
Get to that. So those are the big ones.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
All right, but before we wrap up our year-end review here, we have to come up with the thing that you thought was the coolest thing that happened during the course of the year.
Okay.
And I don't mean anything really personal, but just we did. By the way, we did a previous episode, which you can go back a few minutes of all the folks that passed away in 2022, and it's a pretty extensive list.
Okay.
But just to add to that list, or did we do that? I can't remember.
We did deaths of 2022.
No, we did, but were we talking about now her name's escaped me, from Fleetwood Mac.
Christine.
Yeah, Christine McVie. Did we have her on the list at the last podcast?
I think
Or
so, because
had
I think that was
just-
right when she
Had
passed.
that just happened?
Yeah.
And there's probably some that have passed away since then,
All
actually.
right.
So
There's one thing we didn't mention, but I'm going to wait to see if you mention it as one of the big things for the
okay,
year.
all right.
All right, so just only because this is most recent in my life, and it was exciting, and I was so into it, and it was just exciting. The big thing, I guess, this year for me was the 2020 FIFA World Cup.
Did you watch a lot of that?
The final.
Oh, the final, yeah.
The final one. That was just exciting for me. I don't know. So that was, that's one of the big ones.
All right, so I have two.
What's that?
So the two things that I thought were great about 2022
Okay.
was, one, the James Webb Telescope. I know I'm a geek. I know, I get it.
Yeah, you are a
But
geek.
the Hubble telescope was cool. The James
Fine.
Webb is like triple the Hubble.
Okay.
And you can see into deep space, and the photographs that thing is sending back are just extraordinary. As a person living on this little rock floating around in space, to see that is pretty cool. And the folks that put that together are pretty amazing.
I
But of
think
course,
I know what your next
But
one is.
the best thing about 2022, bar none, everything, Wordle.
Wordle, the Wordle
Come
craze.
on.
We play every day.
How much
John.
fun is Wordle?
Yeah,
Thanks
it
for
is.
creating that game. I killed endless amounts of time with
Yeah,
it. We
good
appreciate it.
for my brain, too.
Yeah, it is good for your
our
brain,
brains.
actually, word gums are. All right, so we're going to venture off, hurtling toward 2023
Yes.
now. Just on a personal note, thanks so much for spending 2022 with us.
Yes.
We never take any of you guys for granted.
We love it. We love all your participation on our show.
We do.
And,
Yeah, we are blessed beyond blessed to be doing this radio show every day for you guys. And thanks for hanging with us, etc. Have a very Merry Christmas to you and all your families and friends and everybody. And we will catch up with you in 2023.
Yeah.
How scary is that? Because if you keep listening,
we will keep talking.
see ya.
Bye.